I wanted to share a little bit with you about lying down for meditation practice. As someone who has been teaching for a while, uh, something that you recognize as a teacher is that a lot of people have a hard time sitting in a cross-legged position, and not only sitting in a cross-legged position, but sitting like that for long periods of time. When I first started meditating, I made myself sit in a full lotus pose. And back then I was in better shape. I was more flexible. I was able to sit like that. And after some time, it became deeply uncomfortable. And I was already a person that was intense and hardcore. I was a type A personality, and I always wanted to do things um, by the book, the way you're supposed to be doing it. And I followed that too intensely in my own practice. And what ended up happening is that I have spinal compression. I also have scoliosis, and I damaged my spine through a practice like meditation. And when I saw the doctor said, Sura, you've been sitting for way too many hours at a time, and you need to relieve the pressure from your spine. So when I sit to meditate now, it can be uncomfortable. It can be painful, especially around the area of my neck. And meditation isn't a practice to create pain, and nor is it a practice where you have to endure a lot of pain. I've been taught in traditions like Zen meditation not to move at all, to sit perfectly still. And I can honestly say that there is value in that practice. Vipassana practices where you go on retreat and you sit for hours at a time from morning till night, this kind of militaristic, hardcore approach. There is value to some of that approach. I'm not going to deny that. I just don't think it's for everyone. And teaching for over a decade, something I've realized is most of us are working with physical challenges. And I would say for the most part, the majority of men that I've worked with, especially in the executive market, they have a really hard time sitting in cross-legged position. It's better to have people sit in chairs, and it's completely okay to lie down during meditation. Some people lie down during meditation because they physically cannot sit in a cross-legged position. Even sitting in a chair is deeply uncomfortable. And what happens is if you experience too much pain and discomfort during meditation, it'll be very difficult for you to experience that sweet surrender that you can have through a deep meditation practice where you're completely surrendered. If you always have some squeezing tension there, it's really challenging to totally let go and to feel safe in letting go. And in meditation practice, it's a practice of a little bit of total surrender where you're not consuming, you're not doing, you're not thinking, you're not having to do or consume or produce something. You're just being, you're totally surrendered, you're open. And it's in that state that we receive that divine grace, that connection, deep connection to the present moment. And lying down in meditation does produce a different effect than sitting up. So in my own practice now, I do lie down also to help create traction in my spine. Sometimes I'll lay with my head kind of off the edge of the bed, and this is to create the traction through my spine because the health of your spine is incredibly important. And then I will spend part of my meditation in a sitting pose once I feel comfortable enough in my body, open enough in my body to sit in meditation from a place of ease and loving surrender. I'm not forcing myself to sit like that. I'm not making myself feel bad for not sitting like that. I'm allowing myself to do what is supportive and healthy for my physical body, because this physical body is important. And sometimes, we're told that it's not important. We should ignore it and just focus our mind on meditation. And I think that is foolish. I think we do need to listen to our body. The divine speaks to us through our body. And when we honor the body, we can receive more through our meditation practice. So it's perfectly okay to lie down. There's several ways that you can do this. You can lie down with your legs up the wall, and that's a restorative type of pose. And you can you could just take a necktie and tie it around your legs so that they stay up the wall, or a strap if you have a yoga strap. I don't even own one of those, but that's a nice way. You can also lie on your back with your knees, your legs apart, and your knees coming together like a tent. And it kind of creates a canopy effect. And that also allows you not to fall asleep during your meditation practice. A lot of people, if you lie down, will tend to fall asleep during meditation. And that isn't really the purpose, though it's easy to go there. So when you kind of pick a pose where you're still a little bit engaged, that will help you stay present in your practice. You can also put pillows underneath your knees, quite a few pillows, even two, and that elevates your legs. And again, your experience in lying down will be different from sitting up. If you have the energy to sit up in meditation, I highly recommend that you try that. There is something about sitting with a straight spine that allows you to tune in at a different level. And one isn't better than the other. Just because somebody cannot physically sit doesn't mean that they're a bad meditator or that they're inadequate at meditating in any way. I think these days we need to find what works for us. And what I find is that when you make people sit in an uncomfortable position for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours at a time, it can discourage them from going deeper into their meditation practice. It's okay to ease into practice. It's okay to lie down during meditation. Just that experience of relaxation is beneficial. If everyone practiced some of that relaxation, 10 minutes, lying on your back, gently focused on your breathing and your body, imagine what a different world this place could be if we all knew just simply how to relax. And relaxation is really the first step in learning how to meditate, because that allows us to slip into a meditative state more easily. There's no force, there's no control, there's no having to do, there's no obligation when it comes to meditation. It should feel like a joy for you to practice meditation, a privilege, the high point of your day where you get to go into a deep inner state, connect with yourself, your higher self, and allow yourself to be guided from a deeper, more conscious place within yourself. And you'll notice how rich, how enriching it is, how it brings a sense of flow and ease to your everyday life. So there's no need to struggle in meditation. We can slip into that sweet spot through relaxation and simply by lying down during our meditation practice.